Hi, this is John Arnold. I am the portal editor for IP Convergence TV. We are a portal focused on the latest trends in convergence technologies, and we're covering things like FMC, IPTV, and VoIP. Today, I am interviewing Greg Galitzin.
Hi, John. How are you?
Great, great. And you are, of course, the managing editor here at TMC, and we are basically doing this live off the floor from the show here in Miami, Florida, the TMC 2008 East Expo, correct?
Right. It's the Internet Telephony Conference and Expo East. It's put on by TMC, as you said, correct.
All right, great. Well, this is the place to be, folks, to learn about the latest in these trends. So we're going to talk today. We're doing a series of interviews while I'm here, and today we're going to be talking about voice trends. So we're going to get a little bit of an interview happening right now, and Greg, we're going to chat first on what you're seeing. I mean, you see a lot, of course, covering all the things you do here at TMC. On the overall trends you start seeing in voice, let's start with a couple of basic.
Absolutely. I think one of the foremost trends that we're seeing in the industry today is that of unified communications. That's perhaps more focused on the enterprise arena. In the service provider space, some of the things we're seeing are advances in network management, network monitoring, all with the goal of delivering a fuller quality of experience, a better quality of experience to the end user.
Okay, so obviously VoIP is going to be part of that solution. And if I'm a service provider, what do I have to look for in unified communications? I mean, why should I start to be excited about this today? How is this going to help my customers?
Well, one of the real benefits of unified communications, of course, is that it ties together all forms of traditional communications. So the sort of the unified messaging story from the past, which is tying together fax, email, voicemail, those types of communications. But the real benefit these days is that those types of communications are being tied into the business practices, right, and the business processes. There's another acronym just to throw one out there, CEBP, which is Communications Enabled Business Practice. And that is one of the things that is driving the uptake of unified communications.
Well, actually, you read my mind on that one, because CEBP is the new buzzword, whereas UC, as you said, was the entry point term last year. Now we're moving up to the applications. So let's hear a little bit more about this, the CEBP.
Certainly. There are a number of companies who are involved in this space, probably too many to list. Avaya, Object World, Siemens, they all come to mind. Obviously, Cisco and Microsoft are big players in the unified communications and CEBP space beyond that. So, obviously they're populated with all the big names. The real benefits are it enables a company to tie their communications infrastructure in with their back office applications. So, for example, a billing application or a database, any database-driven application can be tied to their communication system. I heard a wonderful example today of in the education space. So how schools are using CEBP to affect attendance applications and tardiness. So absenteeism, for example, right? So a student misses class. The teacher in class writes down or inputs the information, Johnny missed school today. Then, by the teacher inputting that information, the system takes over. And so the phone system, the communication system, automatically dials out to the parent and notifies the parent that the student is absent. This, of course, it's one thing to aid in the fight against truancy, but it helps a lot with safety. And obviously safety is of paramount concern, always has been, but it seems increasingly so these days.
Sure. Now, are you starting to see more applications that the service providers can build on top of this for new revenue opportunities?
Absolutely. I think, service providers at the end of the day are mostly concerned with minutes, if you will, right? So any type of application that drives minutes onto the carrier network is a good one. And I think also service providers are getting increasingly involved in things such as service-oriented architecture and using web services to build applications which make it stickier for customers, right? So it allows them to keep their customers on their network. So increased minutes and keeping the customers on the network, I think, are two of the big things that carriers are looking for.
Okay. Well, one more topic I'd like to touch on is on the mobile side, and that's really FMC, fixed mobile convergence. A lot of trends going on in that space. Just tell me a little bit about what you're seeing in that area right now.
Well, fixed mobile convergence, or FMC, about a year ago, I saw a flurry of activity, and it seemed that it was keeping in tune with any new technology on the space. The technologists were all over it, and the carriers were stepping back and wondering, okay, how am I going to make any money out of this? I think this year we're starting to see deployments. We're starting to see carriers actually offer these types of solutions to enterprises. And again, what it does is it drives revenue to the carriers by allowing them to keep customers on their networks.
Do you think it's too early in the market yet for carriers to be making money with this? Or do we still have a little ways to go in terms of the technology and making these solutions more real?
I think so. I think the technology is there. I think the technology solutions are getting close to be ready for prime time. We're probably seeing some early versions of these technologies deployed in carrier networks. But as with anything else, I think we need a little more time to prove it out and to develop business models, I think really is what's going to drive the adoption. I think the technology is probably closer than the business models are at this point.
Okay. All right, thanks. Well, with that, we're going to wrap it up and move on. We'll be back with some more interviews as the show goes on. So I'd like to thank you for watching. Again, this is John Arnold for the IP Convergence TV portal, and Greg Galitzin.
Thank you very much, John, from TMC.
Great. Thanks for everybody for watching.